a better season, Big Ben or Baker? And tell me why. 30 seconds.
Easily Big Ben. What, are you kidding me? Big Ben Baker Mayfield's going to be handing off the football to Chubb and Kareem Hunt. That's what he's going to do. Why were the Cleveland Browns successful? Because they limited Baker Mayfield to some degree. Now, Kevin Stefanski did a hell of a job, and Baker Mayfield has been, in all seriousness, he's been incredibly impressive in terms of his elevated level of maturity and focus and what have you. He needs to be given a lot of credit for that. He truly, truly does. He ain't playing any games. He ain't just doing a bunch of progressive commercials. He actually wanted more wins than more progressive commercials last season. I give him credit for that. He actually sought that and actually accomplished it. I give him credit where credit is due. But Big Ben ain't going out like this. They started off 11-0. They ended up losing 5 of their last 6, including the postseason game to the Cleveland Browns. I think Big Ben knows that this year could be his last. They got the weapons. They got him a running game. They got him a defense. I think Big Ben is going to be ready, and I think he's going to be called upon and asked to do more than Baker Mayfield is, and I think he'll succeed.
The answer is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is ascending. Ben Roethlisberger is descending. Ben Roethlisberger can be 40 before too long. We'll see in his age 39 season now, 38, 39 season now. He's coming off a year. Everyone's like, well, he'll have a bounce-back year. Last year was the bounce-back year. He's coming off a catastrophic injury as an older player, and he played as well as could be expected in a new style, by the way, getting rid of the ball quickly. He just couldn't push the ball down the field. Well, it's not all Roethlisberger. It's partly the line. Well, okay, fine. The line can't block for the run, and they had a hard time protecting the passer even. And so he didn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. And because the defense is playing up as a result, they're also even better against the run. It's a vicious cycle. Why is that going to change? Because they got a back? No, you got to address the offensive line in a bigger way. Now you look at Baker Mayfield, coming off a top 10 QBR season without Odell Beckham Jr. And yes, Stephen A., you and I both talked about the lack of chemistry there. Maybe they're better off apart. But Odell's coming to a playoff team now. He's coming to a team where he knows he has to fit in, and he's at the point of his career where he is very aware he has to be a productive, team-friendly teammate right now because he did not get dealt. You're going to have a highly motivated Odell Beckham Jr. on a Browns team that's ascending with Baker Mayfield. It's only going to make Baker even better.
I don't question anything about Odell Beckham Jr.'s talent. The brother's electrifying, and not only that, he's a good dude, and I'm really, really hoping that he ends up departing from Cleveland and ends up in some place like Green Bay as long as Aaron Rodgers is going to be there.
Imagine.
I think Odell Beckham Jr. deserves an all-world quarterback. Not just a good one, but an all-world quarterback. Odell Beckham Jr. deserves something like that, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Having said all of that, Max Kellerman, once again, you don't get to make that argument. Molly, once again, I'm going to call on you. By the way, the yellow looks fabulous. But by the way, I'm going to call on you, Molly, to remind Max Kellerman of something.
Okay.
Is it not true that Max Kellerman was on the record when Odell Beckham Jr. went down saying that Odell Beckham Jr. was somewhat in Baker Mayfield's way? That Baker Mayfield was allowed to be a better quarterback because Odell Beckham Jr. was out. Because of Jarvis Landry, because of the 2 running backs, because of other weapons that Kevin Stefanski threw out there. That Odell Beckham Jr.'s greatness, you didn't classify him as a bad guy, Max, or anything like that. You was just talking about his greatness and the fact that he demanded, he had his demands and he wanted the ball more and things of that nature. Yeah. Probably compromised Baker Mayfield because once he was gone, you didn't have to focus on just getting him the ball. You could be a bit more judicious in spreading the ball around. I'm saying to you, Max, okay, I'll buy that, which means that problem ain't going away. Because Odell Beckham Jr. has got to come back, show what he's worth, so he can get paid down the line.
Actually, the argument I made is it's a chemistry issue between the two, and they're both better off without each other. However, now that Baker is the quarterback of a successful double-digit playoff team, double-digit win playoff team, and Odell knows at this point in his career, when we talk about the best receivers, we talk about Odell anymore, right? But he's still got the talent. He knows he needs to fit in. Odell's beef, as you know, Stephen A., was never about get me the ball. It's like, damn, if you're not getting me the ball, why aren't we winning? Why aren't we more productive? Now he's entering a situation where they are winning, they are more productive. Yeah. I think it will be a different story.
Okay. And I'm saying if you're using that,
I just want to remind you of something. I want to remind you of something really quickly when we talk about my fandom. You said Odell Beckham has never played with a great quarterback. Eli Manning.
Not when he played with Odell.
Really?
Molly.
Really?
That's my quarterback, baby. Future Hall of Disclaimer, Eli Manning.
Odell can
We
say that
have
all
to
he
go to
wants.
break.
Odell want to get
Producers are
paid.
killing me.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.